Hello everybody, this is Skyflight44, aka Zect44, and today we're going to be playing some Lord of the Rings LCG. We're going to be doing Escape from Dol Guldur in our custom campaign. This is the final scenario in the core set, and, well, it's not going to be nearly as hard as if we played it in solo. This scenario is kind of infamous for being really hard in solo. And that comes down to the initial setup, what you're pretty much going to be able to do later on, and also for the fact that setup's just brutal for solo. Setup is 100% brutal for solo. I have beaten it though, even though there was one day where I just like attempted this maybe 12 times with two different decks, and I was running both I could play with the core set, but the first I was running with my what I think is the most powerful deck, in my opinion, in the core set. If you're playing solo, which is Aragorn, Aragorn, Theodred, not Eleanor, and Eowyn. This allows you to really do everything that you need to and do it really well. Whether it's questing, fighting, anything you need, even defending. But I couldn't beat it. I could not beat it. And then I actually managed to beat it with a mono lore deck, which at this point in time, the only sphere that you could probably go about playing, or even have an idea of playing in a mono sphere, is lore. And even then, just barely. So let's go through and start the setup. So, shuffle decks, place heroes, create token bank, determine first player, draw starting hand, place quest cards, perform scenario setup instructions. So, each deck is going to be getting shuffled. First player's always over here for me, so... And I have to make sure to move my color to blue. So then I'm not really seeing just one hand. Okay, so let's get to drawing hands. One of the biggest problems this one is going to have is using allies. See, the scenario has the little problem of, in the first two quest cards, preventing you from playing more than one ally as a group a turn. This doesn't mean you can't put allies into play, but to play from the hand, you can only do one ally a turn, which means you have to, outside of having some cheaper allies, it's better to have a few cheaper ones and then more expensive ones, and trying to get an expensive one out every turn. Outside of making sure that you're just getting out an ally out a turn, like every single turn. Therefore, something like Sneak Attack is actually really good. And while I have nothing for these Dwarven Tombs, we might be able to get something later. Like a Test of Will would be really nice. But these two Sneak Attacks and having Longbeard Orc Slayer, which is one of the better targets in this deck, I'm 100% gonna just stick with that one. If this was any other scenario, I would be saying, nah. But that one's actually pretty decent. So, event cards and attachments are a lot more useful in this one. And I'm not liking the quality of allies in this one. Not to mention, I also don't have a feint, and I am going to want at least a feint in order to... Oh my god, this one's actually worse. It's a hand full of allies. And then those allies, I really can't go about using. Oh, well, at least there's a Citadel plate. Quick Strike can be useful. because we are running Gimli. So well, there's at least that, especially with the Citadel plate. The only ally I like here is the Gondorian Spearman. Oh, but that hand got so much worse the second time I got it. Or the second time I drew a hand. Okay, Secret Paths, Quick Strike, a Dwarven Axe, Swift Strike, and Lorien's Wealth. Okay, I'm feeling a lot better now. Secret Paths, probably not going to be as useful as Radagast's Cunning in this one. Just because we can have much greater threat, like enemies in this one. Specifically one that I'm thinking of off the top of my head. But no allies whatsoever, which is going to be good considering the fact that we have way too many allies here. But the only problem is at the moment I don't have an ally I can play first turn. I'm going to keep this one just because I really do like Secret Paths, and we do have Dwarven Axe. Which, considering I have Quick Strike with Gimli, is pretty good for me. Ooh. Okay, so currently I don't have any way of getting an ally out first turn except for this Wandering Took. Unless I draw cards. I do like the Hasty Stroke. The Dark Knowledge isn't exactly amazing. But it's not like we have to attach this to Eleanor. We're more than likely going to be attaching it to Eleanor, but it can be Denethor. It's definitely not going on Aragorn. Those two would be the only effective ones really to use Dark Knowledge. Well, then again, you could even throw this on Legolas, because, to be honest, he's not going to be using that willpower. Hasty Stroke. There's probably some worse things, but let's see. Yeah. Okay. If we can't use a feint, we might as well go through and use a Hasty Stroke. Yeah, I'm keeping this hand. I thought Hasty Stroke was going to be pretty good for us. Oh well. With that being said, let's go straight on to setup. The Necromancer's Tower. Escape from Dol Guldur. The Lady Galadriel of Lorien has asked you to investigate the area in the vicinity of Dol Guldur. While doing so, one of your allies was ambushed by orcs, captured, and is now held in a dungeon cell. Set up search and counter deck for 3 objective cards. Reveal and place them in the staging area. Also place the Nazgul of Dol Guldur face up, but out of play, alongside the quest deck. Then shuffle the encounter deck and attach 1 encounter to each objective card. So, this is what guarded means. When a guarded card comes off of the encounter deck, you flip up an encounter card, and then you place it on the guarded, whatever the guarded objective is. So, let's say, and we're going to have to do so, we're going to have to flip up 3 cards. So, Tower Gate. Under the shadow until the end of the phase, raise a total threat in the staging area by X, where X is the number of players in the game. That is really lucky for us. And so is the Necromancer's Reach. This is one of the best things that could have ever happened. See, when you go about placing a card onto a guarded objective, you go through and flip one, and you attach it. If it's a location or enemy, you have to kill that location or enemy to free up the item. If you have a treachery, then it comes off and it just you resolve the effect, and then the objective is just there, free, which is nice. But you're also obviously resolving another treachery. At least those two treacheries did nothing. Now, this, depending on how this would work, this might actually have been a ridiculously good solo game. Now, out of all of these objectives, the Shadow Key is probably not the one I like getting. The Shadow Key is probably one of the ones I get last. The big thing I usually go about getting is Gandalf's map, because attached hero cannot attack or defend. We have to attach these two heroes. Dungeon Torch usually puts too much of a, raising our threat by 3 at the end of the round instead of just 1 is terrible. And the extra damage is also not very good for us. Therefore, I usually go about having the one that hero just can't attack or defend because they can still quest. Okay, so we've done that. Let's flip it over. Randomly select one hero card among all of the heroes controlled by the players and turn it face down. That hero is now considered a prisoner, cannot be used, cannot be damaged, and does not collect resources until it is rescued, as instructed by card effects later in this quest. The players as a group cannot play more than one ally card each round. And again, that is play, not put into play. So, let's get ourselves a D12. So, starting from first player, going clockwise. The leftmost hero is going to be the first counted. So 1, 2, 3, and then it's going to go 4, 5, 6, and so on. Let's go through and find out who we are losing. Ah, shit. So that kind of neutered this deck. Last time I tried playing this before, I'm 100% sure Done Here was the one taken, which isn't so bad. The big ones you don't want to see taken are Aragorn, Gimli, Eowyn, Glorfindel, especially Glorfindel. The big thing on why when I was trying to play the solo, I always went Aragorn, Theodred, and Eowyn. It's the fact that no matter, you have the most amount of utility, but no matter exactly who is taken, you always have the ability of playing leadership and spirit cards, especially if you have Theodred around, which is going to allow you to continuously keep up 3 resources anyway. Oh well, that's fine, I guess. Let's just start up and go to our resource phase. Faramir, that is one really good ally. But the problem with Faramir is he's better when you have more. Yeah, Aragorn doesn't get resources. He's much better when you have the ability to... what was it called? Much better when you have an ally swarm to begin with. Okay, that is a fantastic... I would love to have it testable right now. But stand and fight isn't a bad option whatsoever. So... with that being said, who can lose? And the thing, we're probably still going to be using the Wandering Took to get it onto the field, but because we have stand and fight, it means at some point in time, we're going to be able to just play an ally from the discard pile. We got a bunch of sneak attacks too. Hamarth River Song's probably not going to be something we're going to be using. Just because, well, Hamarth just is not a good enough ally. But we still might as well keep Hamarth in our hand, just because as soon as we're done with this not being able to play more than one ally card each round, we're gonna have a much better time. So in the planning phase, I'm not gonna go about playing anything over here. There's nothing I can that's gonna make anything really good. I do have the Gondorian Spearman now that I remember. Probably not going to use it just so I can get the Citadel play onto Gimli faster. From here, I'm not going to play anything because of... I still can use Secret Paths. I can use Lorien's Wealth next turn. And hopefully we can get that Dwarven Axe also onto Gimli. Now, in this scenario, Gandalf is still really good, especially if you're using Sneak Attack, but playing Gandalf, as useful as he is still going to, like, blank out. He's going to put you back on allies at the end of the turn. Yeah, which isn't the best option. Do we have anything we want to do over here? Yes, we're going to be going through and playing a Wandering Took, because you might as well get at least an ally a turn. I'm also thinking to just save up for the Hasty Stroke. We're not going to be using that Hasty Stroke until we get that Nazgul Dol Guldur into the staging area. Because we're going to have to kill that thing. And unfortunately, his forced effect is going to make us discard a character in play. Which can include heroes, and any of those go right to the destroyed pile. So let's go to... We're going to be going to our questing phase. Go about placing a resource onto Theodred. Then we'll use Glowin. That'll be 3. Glorfindel and Thalin for 7. Awen and Wandering Took for... well, 12. Okay, so at the moment there's only 2 in the staging area. Let's see what comes off. Great Forest Web. Great Forest Web is not so bad whatsoever. So to travel to it, each player must exhaust 1 hero controls. That isn't really all that bad. I mean, if you don't have any kind of enemies, then you might as well just travel to this to get rid of it. The Necromancer's Reach. This is fine. The only one... Nah, I'm using Eleanor. So this will be 2. Dungeon Jailer. This is a lovely one to come off. See, Dungeon Jailer is in the staging area after the player has requested unsuccessfully. Shuffle 1 unclaimed objective card from the staging area back into the encounter deck. This card's actually pretty defensive, more so than anything else. Not It's definitely not very powerful, and it's only going to increase the threat in the staging area by 1. Also has some decent victory points, which we're gonna want to get. Under the Shadow, till the end of the phase, raise the total threat in the staging area by X, where X is the number of players in the game. That's fine. So, at the moment, it's gonna bring that to 9. And the last one, Endless Caverns, Doomed 1 and Surge. So, Doomed 1, the Doomed keyword basically makes it so that everybody raises their threats. Surge makes it so that you flip over another card. So without doing anything, we have parity. We are nice, equal. We're going to quest successfully. Thing is, whether or not we want to do anything about this. See, I don't even know if I really want to kill off the dungeon jailer. Because if I don't want to kill off the dungeon jailer, I'm pretty sure I'm just going to move to the Great Forest Web. I'm just trying to figure out what's the best way of doing this. Obviously, we're not going to be doing anything. We're not going to be questing more than necessary this time. I mean, we're running, dangerously low on anything good. The only problem is, if I can get myself a northern tracker, then I can just clean up this area. But very soon, we're going to be... It's only the dungeon jailer. We're going to be location locked if this continues the way it is right now. So... I'm not going to do anything else. So we quest successfully, because it's 12 versus 12. And now we're going to go to the travel phase. We get to travel to a place. I'm still trying to figure out whether or not it's worth doing anything. We can always kill the dungeon jailer next turn is the big thing. So let's go and move to the forest web. Yeah, I don't want to go through the tower gate right now. So we're gonna exhaust pretty much everybody, which is a problem. Let's see. Anything else I can really go about doing? Well, we've traveled to a location. We're going to the encounter phase. Each player may optionally engage one enemy. I'm not gonna engage the dungeon jailer. And then we can go through and go to engagement checks. Nobody has 38 threat, therefore nobody's going to, or the dungeon jailer is not going to engage anybody. We can go right to the refresh phase. I really wish we didn't have to get rid of, or I wish we didn't have to have Berivore exhaust, but those are the breaks. So now let's go to refresh step, in which everybody refreshes. The big thing, because the doomed keyword is in this scenario, you can't really see. You can't think of. You can't really think of, if I quest successfully, I'm only going to increase my threat by 1 each turn. So we are on a clock. A much quicker clock than it would otherwise seem. I'm not really liking how much threat is in the staging area already. Even though it's not like terrible. I just don't want to get location locked. So we can go back to the resource phase. We got a snowborn scout. And I swear we also have a sneak attack, which is nice. And we have a test of will now. Okay, now we are cooking. If only that test of will was over here with the dwarven tomb. 2 dwarven tombs and nothing to use it with. Also, yeah, you have your resources. Favor of the lady. Okay. So, once again, let's see who should use... Who should play an ally? We can elect to play a Gondorian Spearman. We can elect to play Henemarth River Song. Can't play anything over here. And over here we can play Silverlode Archer. But to be honest, I'd prefer having Faramir. Though Silverlode Archer is not a terrible option at this moment in time. It won't be Longbeard Orcslayer because 2 sneak attacks. I'm going to be using those sneak attacks for Longbeard Orcslayer. Trust me. The only problem is because Aragorn is the one who is prisoner. I don't really want to engage with anybody over here. I do not have the ability to do anything like that. So let's see. I'll say that we could have a Guard of the Citadel or the Snowborn Scout. I like the idea of using a sneak attack with the Snowborn Scout as well in order to just take out either one of these tower gates. So I think we're going to get out a Silverlode Archer. This will at least give us some more attacking potential, and it also still allows us attacking potential with the ability to defend. So as long as we don't see any enemies over here, we can easily use Legolas and Silverlode Archer. We just have to make sure we don't lose the card. So what else can we do? I'm thinking... We're not going to use the sneak attack just yet. If we need to, we can sneak attack Snowborn Scout and get rid of either the tower gate or the tower gate. But otherwise, let's get a Citadel play onto Gimli. Over here, we can... I'm going to throw a Dwarven Axe onto Gimli as well. This is going to increase his attack power to 4 for the moment. Just trying to figure out whether or not to use Lorien's Wealth. If I use Lorien's Wealth, I could use it over here and see if I can draw into a Northern Tracker. It's not likely, but if we can get that card out, then I feel very safe with how this game is going to go. It does still allow us to go through and use a secret path. So yeah, I'm going to use Lorien's Wealth. Oh, okay, yeah, that was nice. 2 Dwarven Tombs in here. This means we can use a Test of Will and then do it again, and then do it again at an increased price, obviously, but we can do it again. Yeah, that was 100% the best option. From here, we can not really do anything. Now that I have Lore of Imladris in my hand, Dark Knowledge doesn't seem so perfect. Sure, let's just keep everything I have in my hand right now. From here, though, we're going to play Silverlord Archer. And I'm tempted to use Favored Lady. Tempted because I'm not going to go through with it. If I can get a Northern Tracker over here as well, I'm going to be in a better off position than if I attempt to just use Favor of the Lady. It's going to give me the same amount of willpower. Okay, so we're going to go to questing. Glowin will quest for 2. Yeah, the performance of Tabletop Simulator in this game specifically, not the best because of how many cards are actually in the game. But it's the only way I can play this 4-player without needing 4 people. Okay, so with that, I have 6 in the quest. And Theodred's going to bring it back to 12. I'm going to throw one onto Aowen. Using Theodred's effect. And we're going to have 6 in the staging area. And 4 more cards. The Mountains of Mirkwood. The Mountains of Mirkwood is really nice to see. Just because if you don't have to travel to it, then it's a really good, 100% a really good location to have explored. Increase it by 2. Driven by Shadow. Can we actually take this? So at the moment, that is going to increase what's in the staging area by 5. I think I'm going to use Eleanor for this. So now this will be 2, and it's a King Spider. Do I attest to will this? So if we have to exhaust one character for everybody, that's once again going to keep Berivore out of it. That's going to exhaust basically everybody so that King Spider can attack in for quite a lot of damage, but that's at least fine with Gimli. It all depends on whether or not more comes off. I'm going to attest to Willis. I can get this back, but I do not have the... This is a little bit too... It's going to put me into too bad of a position at the moment. Another Mountains of Mirkwood. Lastly, Great Forest Web. Okay, this is fine. The problem is we have the Great Forest Web already in here, which means we have to... we're going to have to start doing stuff real quickly. At the very least, we have a bunch of cards in our hand. Let's get rid of some. We can get rid of Guard of Citadel. We have too many allies over there. We can get rid of Henemarth River Song. No, we can... I'm actually thinking self-preservation. Yeah, we can get rid of self-preservation. Nobody has an attachment in their discard pile yet. Then we can probably get rid of... No, we don't need to get rid of Dark Knowledge just yet. It's probably going to have to be Luring Guide. Luring Guide's just not worth having right now. And then Favor of the Lady. If we want it back, we can just Dwarven Tomb it back to our hand. That's going to increase our willpower due to A1's effect. Discard one card from your hand to give A1 plus 1 willpower until the end of the phase. This effect may be triggered by each player once per round. So with this, we're going to complete, if we just stop here, we're going to complete Great Forest Web. So that we can get rid of that, and then we're going to have to travel to something new. Part of me really wants it to be... Endless Cavern's the only one we can actually go and get rid of quickly. I kind of want it to be Mountains of Mirkwood so I can search my top of our decks for a card and put it into our hand. Another part of me is thinking I'm going to be using that sneak attack on the Snowborn Scout real quickly. Oh, this is a bit tough. Let's just let it go through. So that's going to get dealt with. And then we're going to go to the travel phase. So I am going to go about traveling to Mountains of Mirkwood. Hopefully what's on the top of that deck is not Surge. Okay, Doomed 1, that's fine. Cavern, oh yeah, that's right. Both of these... No, only the King Spider is going to gain the damage. Cavern Guardian is unfortunately not going to have the damage placed onto it because it's no longer the questing phase. Thalin's no longer committed to a quest. But the Doomed one we will resolve. Now we can go to the encounter phase. We are definitely going to be facing off against the Cavern Guardian and King Spider. I'll take the King Spider. We'll take the Cavern Guardian over here. No, over here. I'm going to leave the Dungeon Jailer in here once again. So we can go to the combat phase, deal out shadow cards. We can start trying to do stuff. This will be undefended. Attacking enemy gets +1 attack. 3 instead if this attack is undefended. Cool, that is going to add 6 damage onto Gimli. Good thing he has a Citadel plate. Yeah, I kind of wish I had self-preservation now, not gonna lie. The thing is, if we ever lose Citadel plate, we lose Gimli. But otherwise, Gimli has 10 attack right now. I wonder what's gonna happen to that poor King Spider. Over here we have Denethor, and we're gonna... yeah, raise the threat over here by 4. That is not nice. At least Ungoliant spawn is not going to is out of the out of rotation right now. Okay, so now we can go to some attacking. With Gimli, we can attack and kill off King Spider. With Legless, we can attack and kill off the Cavern Guardian. And in this phase, we're also going to go through and just sneak attack the Snowborn Scout into play. We're going to pop the Tower Gate because there's way too much in here. There's way too much in here. No, let's save on that for the moment. I'm going to take that back. I'm still not liking how much threat is in here just by locations, because it's 9 already by location. And there's 10 overall. I'm gonna place 2 progress on here because Legolas killed an enemy. I want to deal with the dungeon jailer too. We're gonna go to. We're gonna use Berivor. We're gonna draw 2 cards over here. Okay, Radagast's Cunning and Gandalf. Not getting any closer to that Northern Tracker. Let's go through and refresh. I'm also thinking about just using Galadrim's Greeting on this player in order to get their threat down by quite a bit. We're probably going to have to deal with the Dungeon Jailer very, very soon. Technically, if we can get a Gandalf off, target that, and then just sneak attack a Longbeard Orc Slayer into the game, we can easily kill it off without actually having to deal with it. I mean, Dunhere hasn't been able to do anything to it, which is the problem. So, lastly, it's gonna take this over here, and we're gonna go to the next round. Okay, Miner of the Iron Hills is cool. There's definitely a condition in here. Protector of Lorien's really nice. Especially over here. Silverlord Archer. Citadel Plate. So, I want to... in the next 2 turns, I want to go about finishing this quest off. This quest needs to go away because we have to be able to place progress on the next quest. And if we can do so, then we can get back Aragorn. The big thing we can do that with is if we actually beat this quest and then not travel to anything, we can attack something, kill it off with Legolas, place 2 progress onto the quest or the next one, and then we can rescue Aragorn, who I really want rescued before so we can get some resources down that way too. Now, what ally are we going to be playing today? There's only Gandalf over here. We have Miner of the Iron Hills and Hennemarth River Song. We don't have any option down there. And over here we do have the Gondorian Spearman. I'm going to elect to use a Spearman. We have the Guard of the Citadel as well. At the moment, Gimli's HP is 9. So we can afford 2 more damage onto him. If we throw another Citadel Plate, we can actually drive that damage even higher. And then, let's just say... he's gonna be one killing machine. I'm probably gonna be throwing out... I'm gonna be throwing out the Gondorian Spearman. It's the one that has the most amount of use. So, at the same time, I really need to get something out for questing purposes. I might just go and use the Guard of the Citadel to bolster our willpower. Yeah, I'm probably going to do that instead. Okay, so that means I only have events, none of which I can use right now. Here, I can probably use Berivor, draw 2 cards. Test of Will, and a Dwarven Tomb. Damn, I'm really trying to get into that Northern Tracker, but I'm failing to do so. I'll probably use a Protector of Lorien on Eowyn. From here, I can... I have a test of will in my hand. I'm gonna... No matter what, I'm not gonna be able to get one out, so I might as well just use this in order to get a test will to hand. From here, we can just wait. Over here, we have the guard. So, it's gonna go to questing phase. We can quest with Thalon and Glorfindel for Eowyn for 8, Wandering Took for 9, Theodred, place one onto Eowyn. Yep, that's the best option. Then we can send Glowin for... We can send Glowin for how much? Another 2. A very last count. 3, that'll be 8, 12. Yeah, so another 12 again. So we are at 12 versus the 10 in the staging area. We're getting location locked. I can definitely see that. Let's see. Caught in a web. Okay, so this is just going to go through and attach to somebody. It's going to be Denethor. This is not worth getting rid of, considering the fact that I do have Miner of the Iron Hills in hand, which means I play that, we can get rid of this. And it's like it was never there at all. Caught in a web! Well, that is just gonna have to not happen. I can't take 2 of those. So this will be 3. Necromancer's Pass. Nope, wrong one. And then 4 Iron Shackles. Okay, attach to first player's deck. So next time the player draws 1 or more cards, they discard this instead. That's fine. Weirdly enough, we're still going to be able to quest quite well. Now, if I decide to... I'm really trying to get into Northern Track. If I can get a Northern Tracker out next turn, which, considering the Mountains of Mirkwood popping and Beravor, we're probably going to be able to get a Northern Tracker in next turn. Hopefully, which means I should be able to get rid of this, that, and with a Snowborn Scout, sneak attacking Snowborn Scout into play, Necromancer's Pass, I can probably also get rid of, which means that is a combined threat of 7 going away in here. Therefore, that shouldn't be too bad. Oh yeah, I didn't quest with the Guarded Citadel. Yeah, that was stupid of me. Yeah, it sucks. I don't really have the ability to actually go through and defend. Actually, no, I do. I have a way of doing this. Okay, so I have 12 versus 13. We're going to, number 1, Secret Paths, targeting Necromancer's Pass, reducing that by 3. We can discard a bunch of cards for Eowyn's effect. We can get rid of Silverlord Archer. We can get rid of... Quick Strike I'm not willing to get rid of. And same thing with Citadel play, because technically if we The Nazgul of Dol Guldur needs 12 damage in order to, or 12 attack power in order to kill off. Gimli at the moment is at 12. I mean at 10. If we can get him a little bit higher, then Gimli can just straight out with quick strike kill off the Nazgul Dol Guldur even before we have to really take any kind of damage. Which means technically we could do that like next turn. If the Dungeon Jailer just does 2 damage. If not, I'm going to be signing that shit to glowing. Yeah, so we will get rid of, in this case, Longbeard. No. Yeah, we're going to get rid of Longbeard Orc Slayer. And then we've not got rid of anything over here. It's going to be Henemarth River Song. Okay, so that's going to increase that by 4. So from here we can place 1 more on here. Or we need 9 in order to finish this. We're going to have 5 right now. Using Protector of Lorien, I can get rid of probably there's a few things I just won't want to get rid of. If I get rid of the Gandalf. I don't really want to get rid of a Dwarven Tomb, but it really is tough trying to figure out exactly what to get rid of. The thing is, I can finish this right now because I do have Snowborn Scout. I can just sneak attack into play. Because at the moment, I only need 4 more. In order to speed this up, we're going to get rid of a Gandalf, and we're going to get rid of a stand and fight. If we need to, we can just get it back with Dwarven Tomb. So that's going to increase it by another 2, and then we can sneak attack the Snowborn Scout, getting rid of this. That's going to lower that by 2, and that's going to increase us by another 2. No, we should be at 18. Yeah, we should be at 18 versus 8, which means we have 10 progress. We're going to, number 1, complete this. Number 2, going to add here, 9 here. Let's resolve the Mountains of Mirkwood. So, after it leaves play as an explored location, each player may search the top 5 cards of his deck for 1 card and add it to his hand. Yeah, and unfortunately, because this isn't draw, that isn't going to be a problem. Because we are adding. So, Erebor Hammersmith, Self-Preservation, Gondorian Spearman, Blade of Gondolin, and Swift Strike. I might just go Swift Strike, to be honest. So I do have one in hand, so I'm gonna go with, I'm gonna go and get myself a Self-Preservation. Good thing Iron Shackles doesn't actually stop Mountains of Mirkwood. Ooh, in the 5th one, Northern Tracker. Lovely. From here, we have even Calabrian Stone. Oh, that is so much better. And then lastly, over here, we can get a Dwarven Axe, so hell yeah. So, let's see. At this point in time, the other tower gate is pointless. The other tower gate's going to be going away pretty quickly. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get rid of the Necromancer's Pass as quickly as I would like, because I'd use my Snowborn Scout. But let's see. We're going to have to also, like beforehand, use an action to attach to Eleanor Gandalf's map. Now Eleanor cannot attack or defend, which means she's kind of useless. We have to raise our threat because of that, as well, to claim it. Okay, so yeah, cool. We don't have to, we can just attach this to A1. We don't actually have to exhaust to take Gandalf's map. Yeah, none of these need to. There's some other objectives coming up pretty soon where you do have to exhaust in order to take one. Okay, that's fine. So now we can go through and have this be dealt with. So, through the caverns, 2A. Finding a hidden entrance to the dungeons of Dol Guldur at last, you attempt to make your way through the caverns beneath the hill, searching for your imprisoned friend. The denizens of the labyrinth stand in your way, while the jailers protect the prisoner. Through the caverns, 2B. After placing any number of progress tokens on this card, flip the prisoner hero card face up and place 1 damage token on him. This hero has been rescued and may now be used by its controller. The players, as a group, cannot play more than 1 ally card each round. The players cannot advance to the next stage unless they have rescued the prisoner and have all 3 Escape from Dol Guldur objective cards. So we're going to need these 2 next time. We only need 1 for the first one, and it obviously really should be Gandalf's map. So if we can kill off Dungeon Jailer using Legolas, then we can do fairly well. Now I kind of wish I didn't get rid of Standard Fight now that I think about it. Fine, we're not going to be going and traveling to any place because I want this active location to, or the slot to be empty. We're going to be playing, or we're going to be taking Dungeon Jailer over here. We're going to be going into the combat phase. We're going to be taking an undefended attack here. Yeah. Hasty stroke. So, this shadow effect is gone. So it's only going to do 2 damage. We're going to place that 2 damage onto Glowin, giving him some more resources. And then after that, Gimli and Legolas can kill this guy off real quick. And because of that, we can place 2 progress on through the caverns. Because progress has been placed, we can flip up Aragorn. So now he can actually get resources now, because we need it badly. But do note, when the prisoner is rescued, move a Nazgul of Dol Guldur into the staging area. Yeah, Radagast's cunning is looking much better, isn't it? 5 threats. 4 attack, 3 defense, 9 hit points. Now that we have a Dwarven Axe, we can throw that onto Gimli, and then next turn... Damn, now I think about it, if I do this... No, I should have the... points for Quick Strike. But we should be able to take out the Nazgul of Dol Guldur pretty quickly. So, what else? Let's go to refresh phase. Actually, yeah, refresh phase. Okay, what else now? Going into the resource phase. We're going to be able to finally have resources over here. I mean, damn. We've not really been able to do much of anything. And we're not going to draw because of Dark Shackles, but now Dark Shackles goes away instead. So what can we do? What should we do? No matter what, we're getting out Northern Tracker. That is a must. We can't really do much of anything else. So that'll just have to be fine. We can go through, though, and give Calabrian Stone to Aragorn. From here, we can add a Dwarven Axe to Gimli, making him 12 attack power. And over here, we can... I'm really interested in going through and using self-preservation, to be honest. And I'm going to do so. I'm going to be using self-preservation on Gimli, so immediately after his 12 attack power quick strike on the Nazgul of Dol Guldur, I'm getting rid of 2 of those points, just in case Citadel Plate gets discarded. Then, yeah. I don't want to have to deal with the fact that Gimli's dead, especially so early on. So, let's see. Questing phase. We can use Aelin. We can quest with Wandering Took and Northern Tracker for this point in time 6. This is going to place a progress token on everything in here. It's going to take out the tower gate. Next turn, we're definitely going to be getting rid of a lot in here. So currently there is 13 in the staging area. We can use Aragorn and one of his resources to ready him to commit him to the quest for 4. That'll be 5. We'll throw one onto Eowyn so that we have a test of will. We can go about using Glowin and Guard of the Citadel. That's going to throw another 3, which is going to bring us to 14. And then over here, we have another 4. Okay, so let's see what we can do. First off, Enchanted Stream. That isn't so bad. Cavern Guardian. So that's going to be doomed. Also, now that I think about it, you should not be in there, Dungeon Jailer. That's 2 of them. 3, Dol Guldur Beastmaster. Then this will be the 4th one, King Spider. Oh, God. So 100%, I'm going to be using a test of will on that. Therefore, we don't have to exhaust anybody. This does mean we're going to be we're gonna be facing off against a lot of enemies this turn. But this is going to be fine. Big thing is, what can we do? We can definitely use secret paths to blank out Necromancer's Pass. Same thing with Radagast Cunning on the Nazgul. And for right now, that's all we can do. We can... I don't really want to use secret paths. I don't really want to use secret paths again. No, I'm fine with what we have. I'm definitely fine with what we have. Currently, we have 5. We need 13. We have 5. The only way we can actually finish this is if we get to... We're going to have to actually really push to get all the way up to... basically, the only way we can do that is if we... Everybody pitches a card, and for... Actually... No, damn. We're not going to be able to use Faramir. Damn, I really wish I had one more resource over here. I would 100% be using, like, sneak attacking Faramir into play, exhausting him, and the like. So the only way we can actually do this is if we pitch 4 cards over here, use a secret paths, and then everybody else pitches 1 card. And do I feel like doing that? Sure, let's go with it. So we're going to be getting rid of you 3 for Protector of Lorien, increasing Eowyn's willpower by 3. We can get rid of a Dwarven Tomb. And Citadel Plate. Then over here we can just get rid of Quick Strike. Now this is going to increase this by another 4. Actually, if I have to just go through and... If I take 1 back, because if I had 18 and I did all of that, I'll bring up to 7. But I still have to use these secret paths as the big thing, which means I might as well keep the Dwarven Tomb, use secret paths, and then reduce this. So I'd be down to 24. And I would reduce that to 11 so I have exact. Which is going to complete that. Oh, it's not going to complete it just yet. We have to gain these, so... We can increase threat here. Add this to Legolas. We can... Yeah, we're going to increase threat down here. We're going to add Dungeon Torch to, I don't know, done here. Why do you have 34? Oh yeah, that's right. The terrible Ungoliant spawn, I believe. Okay, that's fine, that's fine. Actually, I thought the Ungoliant spawn was up here. Either or, there was a bunch of stuff that happened this time. We're going to be able to complete this now. So, out of the dungeons. 3A. Following the thread of sunlight, you discover a cavern opening leading out through the side of the hill. Stationed outside the cave mouth, however, is a large group of orcs. Of course, at the beginning of each quest phase, each player places a top card of his deck face down in front of him as if it just engaged him from the staging area. These cards are called Orc Guard and act as enemies with 1 hit point, 1 attack, and 1 defense. Players cannot defeat this stage while the Nazgul of Dol Guldur is in play. If this stage is defeated and Nazgul of Dol Guldur is not in play, the players have won the game. So, basically, we kill this thing off, we survive, which is a big thing, because I do have the option of killing this thing off, thankfully. And then we can just immediately just quest our hearts out, survive, and then out of the dungeon is good. So, are we going to be traveling? I'm actually thinking about it. Mountains of Mirkwood is looking real nice right now. But if that is an enemy off the top of the encounter deck, I'm going to feel really, really, really bad. I also don't have... I do, in fact, have Eleanor, but if that's an enemy, then I'm just... I don't want to have to face another enemy is a big thing. And oh god, if it's another king spider. Actually, is there... I think there's only 2 king spiders? I don't think there's a third one. Yeah, I'm not going to risk it. I'm not risking anything. So... Well, we can go through and travel to the Enchanted Stream. Then we can go to the encounter phase. Starting from here, we can optionally engage. How do we want these to go? Well, we can get that one down there. We can optionally engage you over here. We can optionally engage you over here. And we can optionally engage you over here. So, now, while in the encounter phase, we do have player actions after we can optionally engage. Therefore, we can go through and use Quick Strike. Exhaust a character you control to immediately declare it as an attacker against any eligible enemy target. So Gimli, again, 2 regular attack. 4 with the 2 Dwarven Axes. Actually, wait, no, we don't have... We can't actually do that. Damn. Dwarven Axe is restricted. The Citadel Plate's restricted, so we can't actually do that. Is there a way we can fix this situation? Yes, there is. So, we're going to be doing 7 damage to the Nazgul Dol Guldur. We only have 10 damage on Gimli, therefore, or 10 attack on Gimli, so we're only going to be able to do 7 damage. Good thing I read my cards after a second look through. Now we're going to go to the combat phase. everybody is going to be getting shadow cards. 2 down here, which, oh, this is terrible. So now we can defend. Eleanor, you are the first to defend. And nothing. So you're not going to be taking too much of anything. We do have the Silverlode Archer and Aragorn. We could easily kill this off if done here can defend well. If this is anything like any really bad increases... Actually, no, Legolas can go about killing this thing off, so we might as well use Aragorn for the most amount of... protection. Nothing and nothing. He's just going to deal 1 damage. Over here, we will use... we are going to defend with Snowborn Scout. And we are going to use Swift Strike. So, with 2 resources, after a character is declared as a defender, deal 2 damage to the attacking enemy. I was planning on using that on King Spider. But, oh well, we're going to have to use this to kill off the Nazgul of Dol Guldur. This is going to... Ooh, that's cool. Again, if a shadow effect resolves, which means it doesn't necessarily going to happen, but if a shadow effect resolves, we must choose and discard 1 character the targeted player, the attacked player, is going to deal. Also, no victory points, so if you can very well have this cycle back. Can't kill off Nazgul that easy. Okay. And then over here, we can defend with Denethor. Okay. That could have been bad. Good thing we had no damage whatsoever over here. And because it's 3 versus 3, it's just going to whiff. Now we can go to attacking. Berivor can easily kill off the Cavern Guardian. Over here, we can, using Done Here, and we just need to get up to 5. So using Done Here and using Legolas, we can kill off you. Or better yet, we could use the Silverlode Archer, and then you're going to have 4 damage on you, and then we can use Legolas to kill off the King Spider instead. We're going to be placing 2 progress because of Legolas's effect on Enchanted Stream. That's going to go away. So now we can actually still draw cards. And this is still going to be up because we still have a Longbeard Orc Slayer and a Sneak Attack. So, yeah, we're just going to use that. Okay, so that isn't so bad. Now we're going to go to refresh phase. We're going to use self-preservation, decreasing Gimli's damage. We're going to increase our threat by 1, and Legolas is going to take a damage. We can go through and refresh everybody but Denethor. Increase our threat by 1. Over here, we're going to increase our threat by 1. Refresh. And over here, we're going to increase our threat by 3 because of Dungeon Torch. We can refresh. Okay, so now it's to the 5th round. Everybody gains resources. We can actually draw cards. Okay, not too bad. So all we have to do is just quest through this. We're going to be questing through it fairly easily because we're going to get rid of these two. There's going to be only 3 in the staging area afterwards. We only have to get up to 7, so I'm not really afraid of anything that, well, he can go about doing to me. So probably just going to use one resource, go through, sneak attack, Longbeard Orc Slayer, killing this thing off. We could, if we really wanted to, move a lot of stuff in. Like, we could just play everything that we need to, because we have all these resources, and we can finally start playing allies. But I'm, from the looks of it, not actually going to be playing much of anything outside of playing a Dwarven Tomb in order to get a Test of Will to hand. That is 100% something I'm going to want. But outside of that, that's really just going to be it. So now Longbeard Orc Slayer goes back to hand. And we can just quest. So Aragorn for 4. Theodred giving 1 resource to Aragorn. We can quest with Glowin and Guard of the Citadel for 7 so far. Glorfindel and Fallon can increase that by another 4. Then Eowyn, Barivor, Northern Tracker, Wandering Tuck. We might as well just throw all of these. That's going to increase it by another 8. To 19. You're gonna go 2, 2, you're gonna go 2, and you two are going to complete. Reducing this to just 3 in the staging area. Also, the top card is engaged with us. I forgot exactly where in the phase. I thought that was the beginning of the staging step. No, it's the beginning of the quest phase. So, those 4 are guards, orc guards, and we're not going to really have to deal with it, because usually as soon as you get out of the dungeons, as long as the Nazgul of Dol Guldur is not in play, you can easily just quest right through this. So, let's see. We have Dungeon Jailer for just 1. Enchanted Stream for just 2. Endless Caverns. This is the 3rd one. It's going to be Doomed and it's going to Surge. So this is going to be 3. And Necromancer's Reach. I'm going to use Eleanor for that. So it's going to be 3. Dol Guldur Orcs. So this is going to add another 2. We're going to have to put 2 damage onto somebody who's questing. You look like a good target right now, Barivor. This will be 4. That one's a Mirkwood. Interestingly enough, the only point in time if you run out of an encounter deck and you need to use more encounter deck, if you're in the questing phase, you take your discard pile, or your encounter deck discard pile, you shuffle it up, and it becomes your new encounter deck. If you're in any other phase of the game, you do not do this, which means if we go about fighting these two this turn, there is no shadow cards dealt. You play until you run out of cards, and then you have to wait until the questing phase before you actually shuffle this back up. So, let's see exactly what we have here. We have 3, 5, 6, 8, 10, 11. So, without even doing anything, we're just going to be placing a progress on this. Yeah. That's Escape from Dol Guldur. We managed to do it without having anything destroyed. I can't believe that. Granted, I have quite a bit of knowledge for how to play this scenario. But usually either the first or the second stage can take a very long time. Really depending on what kind of hero you have lost. And, well, let's just say, again, if you can't really play too many allies, then you can get location locked in this. Because especially if you're playing 4-player, you can easily get location locked. Granted, I would still take being location locked in 4-player than playing this in solo, just because in solo you start up with 2 heroes. And depending on what kind of deck you're playing, you might just turn off a third or half of your deck. You can also go through and suffer against 3 initial encounters. Let's say you get a King Spider. Let's say you get another King Spider. Let's say you have a Dungeon Jailer, or better yet, let's say you have a Cavern Guardian. So you have 3 enemies just straight out from the very beginning. And all of these enemies are going to be... There's no combination of heroes, if you're running 3, that is going to have... or that's going to put you below 20. So you're going to be facing off against with literally no readied heroes. You can only play 1 ally a turn. You already have 1 hero dealt with, a prisoner. The other 2 are going to have to go about rescuing them. You're facing off against 3 enemies, all of which are going to be fighting you from the very beginning, because they will engage you. And also, this is the big thing, 2 of them, when revealed, make you exhaust a hero. Therefore, at that point in time, you've already lost. I can guarantee you've already lost. Because you can't quest. And even if you had a low enough threat, you're going to unsuccessfully quest enough that, okay, you're just going to have to face these enemies anyway. Which means, oh, good God, if you're trying to face, if you had to face a Dol Guldur Beastmaster. That would suck so much. Again, this is not a friendly game for solo. You have to just hope that 2 of the cards, the treachery cards, that just don't actually work, and that your questing hero that you're using, like Eowyn, Aragorn, Glowin, Glorfindel, these characters just aren't actually taken away. But oh well. We have currently 5 victory points. And we also have quite a few more victory points as well for having beaten an expansion. Well, the core set, which is treated as an expansion. So at the end of scenario resolution, any leftover resources are added to the resource bank. During a scenario, once per turn, each player... Yeah, we can do that. It's not that one, it's this one up here. During scenario resolution, after returning destroyed cards, you may duplicate cards that are in the player's decks. When finishing a normal scenario, you gain 5 victory points. When finishing an expansion or adventure cycle, you gain 10 extra victory points. When playing fan-made scenarios, you gain 15, and for official standalone scenarios, 25. Therefore, we are going to be getting 15 5 for beating a normal scenario, and 10 for, or 10 extra for beating an expansion. So first off, we have the 5 from the actual game. We have no destroyed cards, which is a godsend. I can't believe that actually happened. One of these dwarven axes is supposed to go over here. Is this one? There it is. Let's get rid of you. So we can go through and immediately just skip over that. We get 15 more victory points. We have 20. We can duplicate cards now. What do we duplicate, though? We've already got a bunch of test of wills. We've already gone through and started getting our... We've already started getting our complement of dwarves. I mean, we already have 3 extra veteran axe hands. We already have 3 extra Erebor hammersmiths. What else could we possibly want? I'm gonna go and say that we're probably gonna want some northern trackers. But so unlike the other ones, these are gonna cost us 3 each. So that's gonna be 6. Again, northern trackers are just good to have because of location control. They're also pretty good at, attacking and defending, one of the only ways Spirits has the ability to do so right now, and for a long time coming. Outside of that, I could go through and... I've yet to really do this, but let's go and also get 2 hasty strokes. This will bring us to 10. We're definitely going to need hasty strokes later on. Like, if I wasn't going to be able to kill the Nazgul of Dol Guldur before anything happened, then I was either going to want a feint in order to deal with that, or my other option was hasty stroke, which from the very beginning was what I was planning on using in order to prevent that effect from going off. I'm pretty sure at this point in time we can probably go for a Radagast Cunning or 2. I'll get 2. I'll bring us to 14. And then most likely we're going to get a Erebor Hammersmith. We're getting Miner of the Iron Hills, actually. An Erebor Hammersmith. And... no, I have to have Veteran Accent in here. Again, we're just trying to gain a good complement to dwarves. That will bring us to 20. Big thing is we really just need as much or as many dwarves as we can possibly muster, mainly due to the fact that dwarves are going to be really powerful, and no matter what deck we're playing, we're going to be needing dwarves and just to play. We don't need anything else for dwarves than to just have dwarves to play. Because they are, no matter what you're playing, just going to be really powerful. So, all of these cards are also going to be earned. and we're going to be able to go about using them for the rest of the campaign. Next time, we're going to have to figure out exactly what we want to do, because we can now do the adventure cycle for the Shadows of Mirkwood adventure cycle. And we can start actually gaining cards and not just be stuck using these core set cards, which a lot of the other things we might be doing might just force us to do. Okay, so at that point in time, let's just go about moving our resources. Because I definitely didn't use any... I didn't use a lot of resources in this game. Or at least some heroes really didn't use their resources. 2 and 1. And I'll be 5 tactics and 4 leadership. Now, I'm pretty sure, considering what we actually have, we might be able to do Massing at Osgiliath pretty soon. The thing is, we can play allies from here. We can easily get out, from the looks of it, a veteran axe hand. We can get out an Erebor Hammersmith. We're just shy of being able to get out a Northern Tracker. And we don't have any allies to really actually get from there. But considering some of these are going to be going, we can probably get out either a Son of Arnor or a Silverlode Archer in that case. Which means we could... Actually, we could also get... Actually, we don't have... Because all of the luring guides are gone. If we just had one more ally, then we could probably just do Massing Osgiliath. Because using our resources, we could just continuously, like on the first turn, also just like waste pretty much all the resources we have here in order to just play one ally each, which is going to make that entire thing much easier. But it is going to waste all the resources that we've gained so far, which is going to stop us from being able to use a Test of Will, a Feint, Sneak Attack, all that kind of stuff normally. Okay, with that being said, have a nice day, everybody.